This video is all about password management and how to set up Bitwarden. There are three key philosophy points that I want to share. The first one is that you have one source of truth for all of your passwords, no more storing them in different places, saved in different browsers, stored in plain text on spreadsheets or written on a post-it note on your monitor. None of that nonsense. One secure place for everything that's always up to date, no questions asked. Number two, you don't memorize any of your passwords at all. You only memorize one, and that's your master password. You don't know any of your other passwords because they're too secure to memorize or to know. The last one is you don't just tie username and password to each item, you add other bits of relevant content and important bits of information as well. So for example, if you have a security question that you forgot to save, or you have something like a email address you want to tie associate with it, whatever it may be, think of it as sort of a database of everything related to your logins. So let's move on to the practical setup steps. You'll want to go to bitwarden.com and create an account, and it'll look like something like this. It'll be an empty vault. And the first thing you want to do is save your master password and your backup codes, write them down on a piece of paper, and store them securely with your passport, with your birth certificate. That's the kind of way it should be treated. Whenever you update that master password, you're going to want to update that as well. That is the only password you're ever going to have to remember or memorize in any capacity. So, the first step to actually getting your passwords into your password manager is to import from an existing source. So to do that, you're going to want to go to Google Chrome and click Settings. After you click Settings, you're going to want to go to the Password Manager, and it will look something like this. So when you go to Passwords, go to Settings, you're going to want to click Download File, and this is going to take you to the CSV that you're going to want to save. Now, this is an important step. After you save it, and then after you import it into Bitwarden, which I'll show you in a second, you're going to want to delete that CSV file because that's going to be potentially a security risk if you don't delete it because your password's stored in plain text. So, the first thing you want to do is, this is something I like to do personally. You don't have to do this. I'm going to start by creating a new folder in Bitwarden called Chrome Passwords. And when I import the passwords, it's going to tell me where that source was. Now, in the future, when I add more passwords, I'm not going to necessarily put it in a folder, but this will at least tell me the origin of where that came from. And that's useful in the beginning, and maybe eventually I'll get rid of the folder. So, let's go ahead and import the passwords. So I'm going to use the Import Data tool on the left here, and I'm going to actually select the Chrome Passwords folder I just created. This kind of helps it be organized. I'm going to select the Chrome file format. There's several other ones. If you're coming from Firefox or you're coming from another password manager like LastPass or KeePass, you'd select that. But I'm going to select Chrome for our case. I'm going to select the file, and here it is, Chrome Passwords, and I'm going to open it. This is what you just exported. And if I click Import Data, it looks like we got 3 items imported. That is perfect. Now I'm going to go back to that file and simply delete this. I'm also going to empty it from my recycle bin as well. Anyway, that's the amount of measures you want to take to really do this right. So now that we have our passwords included in here, I'm going to show you kind of how it works practically to use. So if I were to go to a tab with one of the saved passwords, you're going to see a 1 appears up here on the Bitwarden symbol because I have the extension installed. That's another important step. Make sure you have the Bitwarden extension installed in your browser and you have the mobile app installed on your phone. Those are crucial steps. But you'll see this number 1 is here, which is great. And all you have to do is press Control-Shift-L, and it's going to fill that in for you. If you prefer not to use keyboard shortcuts, you can go in and click Fill from here, or you can manually copy the password as well. And when you click Fill, it's going to do what you expect. It's going to fill this in. If I click Next, well, in this case, it's a dummy account, so it's not going to work. But the password field would also be filled in. And this is an important step to mention that to make the most out of your Bitwarden app on your phone and the extension, I recommend these quality of life tweaks. So you'll want to go to Bitwarden, you'll want to go to Settings, and then Account Security. If you prefer Unlock with Biometrics, if you have a thumbprint scanner or something like that, fingerprint scanner, I would turn that on maybe for your phone because it probably has one. And for PC or desktop, I like using a pin. So I'm going to type in just a random pin. And if you want, you can require your master password on restart just so you remember what it is and you use it routinely, but you don't have to do that. And so now I have a pin set. So whenever I lock the account, it's going to ask me for that. If you're a little more bold and you have a pretty secure device, you could even say never for timeout. So that means that you'll never get logged out of this. The other thing I would say is go to the generator, your password generator, set the length to at least 20, enable special characters, and change the minimum from 1 to 2 each. This is going to give you a really complex password, and it's ready to go every time you want to generate a new one. Some services don't support special characters, so in that case, you can just go in and manually pare it down. So I'll give you an example of what it would be like to change a password. Let's say I wanted to change this password. Let's say it was a really insecure password for this Gmail account. I'm going to open it up and click Edit. And then down here where it says Password, I'm going to click Generate New Password. And it's going to use my settings that I configured earlier, the 20 length, the special characters. And I'm going to click Copy. And I'm going to use this password. So now it's been updated officially if I click Save. Now what's nice about this is when I go in to actually change my password, I have the new one copied to my clipboard, ready to go. And it maintains a password history. So if I go back here, I can see my original password was password bad. And every time you change your password through this interface, it's going to keep a chronological history of what your passwords were, which is very handy. So there's that. Now I'm going to go over to this tab for GitHub to show you how useful passkeys can be. So passkeys are sort of an experimental feature, but they make signing into things really fast. So I'll give you an example of that. I'm going to add a passkey to this GitHub account. And it's going to prompt me to do it. I'm going to click Add Passkey. Bitwarden's going to pop up, understand what account I'm logged into. I'm going to confirm by clicking it. And it's going to say, great. I'm going to call this Bitwarden. And I'm going to click Done. Okay, looks like it worked. So, to give you an example, I'm now going to log out of this account. And I'm going to try to sign in again using my keyboard shortcut. Although it's going to also recommend the passkey. But I'm going to press Control-Shift-L. Or if I want, I can continue with a passkey. So I'm going to try that. Continue with passkey. It's going to pop up, say yep. And boom, I'm logged in. Super fast, super convenient, and we're good to go. So that's a little example there. Now I'm going to give you one more scenario where you might be confused because your login is not appearing. If you recall from our vault, we have this Twitter user login, but when I visit x.com, there's no password that comes up automatically up here. So it's confused. One way around this is to go to the settings in Bitwarden under domain rules and specify custom equivalent domains. So for this example, I want to say twitter.com is the same as x.com. Hit save. Now once I do that, now when I visit this, it'll pop up and say, oh, you've got a login. Like it understands this is related. So if I hit sign in, you see the number 1's appearing now. So now it pops up just as you'd expect. The next step I would recommend is actually going into your browser settings and turning off offer to save passwords and passkeys. Even because you don't want to start copying and saving 2 versions of your passwords. Now at this point you've imported all your passwords into Bitwarden, you've deleted the CSV that you exported from Chrome or whatever browser you're using. You don't need your browser to keep saving your stuff for you. That just becomes a hassle and it gets in the way. Okay, right. So at this point, you're gonna want to audit your passwords and probably change the ones that are the most important ones to change. Let's say this, we already changed our Google one. If I go into this, I can see the password history of password bad and our new password, which is this. Let's say I want to do the same thing with our Twitter account. So I'm going to open this up. What's this password? Oh, it's bad password. Okay, we should probably change that. So I'm going to go in to edit. You can do this either in this extension here, or you can do it right on the website if you prefer. I'm going to change the password here again to generate password, and then click copy and use this password. And I would go into here, I would say forgot password, follow the steps, actually change it to what I just copied, and then we'd be in sync, and I click save. Let's say we wanted to store something beyond just a username and password on a item in the vault. I'll show you how to do that. So let's say we open this Twitter account, for example, here. Let's do that, and then click edit. If I scroll down here, you can use an option to add notes, which is great. Maybe I could say like created with my Gmail account, whatever is helpful for me. I can do that there, or I can click add field and say, select hidden and say security question 1, let's say. And the security question could be whatever. I mean, I could even make it, what was the name of your first pet? And then you could put whatever you want in there. And actually, you wouldn't probably include the actual name of your first pet, but let's just say it was Fido or something like that. Now when you save it, it's going to come up as a custom field that's password protected. So it's like another nice place to store that. Now, of course, it won't be included in the password history, but that's okay depending on the nature of the field. But you can also add any old text field you want as well. So let's say I wanted to add one for, let's say I wanted to do email address as its own text field for some reason. It could be login@account.com. Save. Now I've got these custom fields along with the username, password, and website. So pretty handy stuff, and that just becomes a database of anything related to that website, and it's all in one place. So that's a bit how that process works. And once this is all in place, you should start adding other things to Bitwarden as well. So for example, you can add not just logins, but also cards, identities, and secret notes. Like you can add anything in here if you'd like. So if I were to add like a card, I could say, I don't know, US Bank card or something. And then put the cardholder name in there, all the numbers, the expiration date, all these sort of things. And that way you have a really easy autofill option for your cards and one source of truth for that as well. An example of a secure note could be something like your license plate information for your vehicle, or just anything that you think is important to know and to pull up quickly on your phone or in your database of secure information, and you want to have access to it. Anything like that. The last thing I'll say is there's a really great guide that I wrote on my site. If you click on best password sharing app for couples, specifically if you want to share passwords and things with your spouse, I have a little guide here where you essentially create an organization and you can share passwords securely with somebody else, and you can do it for free if you have one other person. So anyway, I don't really want to go over that in depth here, but I did want to mention it, and I'll include a link to that in the description as well. So I know this was kind of a lot to go through, but hopefully from beginning to end, I showed you how to get off of your existing password managing solution into a more secure system through Bitwarden, how to kind of organize it, how to change your passwords, how to get it so it's like second nature, super intuitive. And the goal is that you have more secure online presence and everything is more organized and up to date. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.